Hey everyone, it's Sue here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm working on a 12 by 12, and I started by placing all of those layers together and putting my photo on top of it. And I'm using the old Heidi Swapp Sugar Chic collection. Yes, it's like from 2003 or something like that. So I'm just trying to figure out how to layer the rest of my papers. Now, when I started this layout, I did not intend for it to be all from this same collection. I was going to try to get one of my other newer collections included in this. And you know what? I loved this collection in 2000 and whenever I got it, and I still love it. I used it many times and I still love it. So if you have, and we all do have those old paper pads that we so much loved at one point, get them out and use them for sure. So I'm using a Faber-Castell Pitt pen right here in black. And I showed you real quick there, the tip of this is destroyed. It's flattened out, so it's coming out very wide, which I wanted. I wanted the black line that I'm putting around these pieces to be very noticeable. So I didn't want a thin line. I wasn't looking for something, just to do a little bit of, additional interest. I mean, I really wanted it to the black line to be almost like a focal point, almost, right? So I decided to go ahead. I wanted that yellow, almost orange piece to stick out on top there. And I had this little piece of vellum that says beautiful, and I'm with a little arrow pointing up to Madison, and I'm just going to staple that. Well, I am when it actually works properly. Well, one of the staples worked and one did not. So it turned out okay. And I wanted to have more than one focal point on this particular page. Now, of course, my granddaughter is the focal point, but, in an attempt to use up my stash and to just kind of play and have some fun and get more color on the page, I decided to go ahead and add this a little bit larger piece down here, but it pulls the yellow from the upper left down into the lower right. Now, this particular 3x4 card, I have had who knows how long, 100 years at least, right? And I'm showing you there, I'm trying to pick out which archival ink I am interested in using. And I found this in one of my drawers. Again, I'm very slowly getting some newer ephemera and, scrapbook paper and that kind of thing. But it's amazing, the stuff that I have from way back when. I loved it then and I still love it, except now I'm actually using it. There's a big difference, right? Because we hold on to that stuff. So I wanted, obviously, for that to pop off of that yellow a little bit. So I had to get some color onto it. And I had forgotten that, oh my gosh, it's archival and I'm not going to be able to get that off, but I'll be able to by using an ink remover. I forget which one I use. I think it's Stampin' Up that you would normally clean like your acrylic block with. It works really well. I'm pretty sure it's Stampin' Up. I think it is. Could be Ranger, but I think it's Stampin' Up. So I like the way that that looks as of right now. I just have that heavy black line around the edges of it. And I'm going to go ahead and get that down. And again, I'm using all this old stuff. All this, it's just a little tab that's sticky, and I'm going to get that on there because I'm looking at color, right? So there's a lot of pink, there's a lot of yellow, there's a lot of teal. And of course, it's all around the pajamas that she has on is where I'm getting my color from on here. And I liked this better down here, and it is partially off the page, so I will cut some of that little doily. And then that yellow button, it's a paper button, that is from Creative Memories. So that's how old that is. And I'm not going to waste this little piece. I'm going to go ahead and place it up there. And I like how that looks. Okay, so those little clouds I had punched out a few years back, and they were just perfect for this, the colors on this page. And it was nice to fill up that little spot up there with something colorful like those clouds. I have some of my butterflies. I have this little card that says hello, and I have the little wood veneer cameras. So I tried these many different ways and different places, and I couldn't quite get it. I did like that little heart that I just moved with that like dark aqua color, and I just really did like it on top of that card that says love this, so I just put it there. I do try not to think about things too much. If I place something somewhere and I like it, I put it down for the most part. I'm using my Tombow mono adhesive to get that little butterfly down. But I find that, unless I really am not happy with something like with those little wood veneer cameras, I just put it down, just glue it down. So I'm looking at the word fantastic, but I knew in my head all along I wanted it up there, but I figured I would just try at other places just to make sure. I'll go ahead and get these down because I like them. It's not really a layout that needs clouds, but I like it. And then watch this card. I had 4 pieces left in here, and they're all a little bit different. So I have like this long tag right here. I had the arrow that said giggles this way or something like that. And then I have this date sticker, and I have this arrow that says I'm with Cutie. And I had one more. I wanted to throw this out. I was done with it. And yes, I'm going to put 2 date stickers on one layout. I'm not going to put 2 dates. I could, but I'm not. You'll see what I do with those. And I'll get that down because I know I like that up there. Still working with those darn wood veneer, which, by the way, I've also had for forever. And I actually just bought some wood veneer. What were they? Something a Tuesday morning this past weekend. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're still around. I'm like, ah. So I'm showing you here. I did put the little cameras over to the left side of the page because I like the way that it clusters. And I'm pretty much done at this point. I'm going to adhere them down, but first I wanted to get a little bit of color onto them. So I go ahead and I pull out that same ink pad, and I'm using that same pink, and I'm just taking my little foam thingy there and just, getting the color onto the cameras just so that I don't know, I thought they looked really cute pink on there. I think that they popped a little bit more than when they were wood color. I can definitely see them a lot better now than I did when they were just the natural wood color. So I'm using the Tombow to get these down. And I even bought a new one of those Tombow glues this weekend, because that one's almost done. And I know I always it's one of my go-to adhesives, wet adhesives, for sure. So I'm just looking it over. It's like, okay, what do I need? What's missing? And what I decided was well, I was looking at the points on all those to get the heaviest, the thickest or widest point out of those particular pens. And I'm like, you know what, love this. It needs just a little bit something extra, just to help it pop off the page just a little bit more. And I had so much outlining, in other areas on the page that I thought that this would look nice. Now, one thing I did not outline, and that was just around the whole 12 by 12 paper. And I did that on purpose. And the reason I did not do that on the 12 by 12 was because I wanted everything in the middle to pop, right? I liked the dark lines on everything else and how it just made it all just pop off the page. So the top date sticker, I put the date of the photo. And the bottom one, I'm just going to write a little. What am I doing? I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to write anything there yet. Oh, isn't that funny? I did this a few days ago, and it's like I don't remember what I did when. Okay, so here on this little card, I wrote Madison in her new pajamas, and a little heart. I like doing little hearts. I do them often. And then right here, I wrote Christmas gift on the other date stamp. And then I have these, the name just escaped me. You guys know what I'm talking about, these little thingies I'm putting down. Yeah. So I have to get some of them on there. It's just so interesting to me how not a lot has changed over the years for scrapbooking. I notice a lot of the same techniques, a lot of the same product, which I think is great because I love it all. And that's, I think, going to be pretty much it. So I'm going to hold it up for you to see closer, and I hope you enjoyed this. Please go ahead, and if you would like to and see more videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you all so very much. You have blessed me abundantly. Bye-bye.